Hello, welcome to another episode of the COVID-19 Impact series. With the ease of lockdown in Lagos, I actually went out 2 days ago to the grocery store. There was a line to get in. Everybody had their mask on, and you had to use the hand sanitizer before you could get in, temperature check. It was actually very well organized. And I guess this is our new normal. But we still have a travel ban on interstate travel, and obviously planes aren't coming in and out, so you can fly out. This week, I'll be speaking to Mr. Tunde Ogunyemi, the CEO of Thelma Farms. Their business solely relies on export of fresh produce to the European and Asian market. Join me as I speak to him. Mr. Ogunyemi, good morning.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us early this morning.
You're welcome.
Can you hear me very well?
I can hear you very well. Thank you. Yes.
So where are you right now? Are you in Ogun State, Ijebu?
I'm currently in Abeokuta, getting ready to head off to the farm in Ijebu.
Oh, okay. So how's the lockdown there?
We're being eased out today. It's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So today is the ease out day. So there is movement since 7 o'clock in the morning.
So you can actually get to the farm today?
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions so I can let you get to your farm. From what I remember, I know Thelma Farms exports fresh vegetables to the European and Asian market, and you depend solely on air cargo. So with this lockdown, no flights available, how has that affected your business?
Okay. Yes, the export process via the airport came to a sudden halt. We did not see it coming. It came so abruptly, and basically it has suspended all export activities, especially around fresh produce. The forwarding sheds at the airport are still open, but operations, I understand, is only for general cargo, and no fresh produce has been exported since. A news came in to comment the Monday that just gone past, that the Nigerian Agricultural Quarantine Services said they have resumed issuing certificates at the airports. However, it's not been possible to export because Lagos is still locked down on interstate movement. So producing from outside Lagos has made it impossible for someone like myself to actually take my produce to the airport for exportation. So the whole exportation process, and I follow it every day. Apart from the British Airways that brought back some Nigerians and taking back some British nationals, those two flights we were able to export, minimum quantity. However, there is no cargo plane or aircraft that can give us that service. So hopefully, let's keep our fingers crossed, but there is no export via the airports at the moment in terms of fresh vegetables or agricultural products.
So with this uncertainty, we have no idea of when the airports will actually open.
It's so sad. Your guess is as good as mine. I try to follow up with authorities. I try to follow up and push, but it's just a finger in the air kind of thing. Nobody knows when this is going to happen. Don't forget, 99% of aircrafts leaving Nigeria carrying agricultural produce are foreign aircraft. They're mostly European aircrafts and aircrafts from other continents. So basically, we have very little chances, quite honestly and sadly. So exportation is, when it's going to start, is your guess is as good as mine, unfortunately.
Very unfortunate. So with that, I'm sure you have a lot of produce with you and post-harvest loss. Like, were you able to sell them locally?
Okay. You see, technically, from my own organization, I tend to have contingencies. So immediately this lockdown commenced, we realized that a lot of farmers couldn't go to the farms at the very early stages. So technically, those that couldn't go to the farm to plant or to harvest, they lost a lot of their produce on the farm. Some off-takers that bought stuff from their farms lost their produce on the waste side, trying to enter Lagos, which is the major market for our produce, you know, in this part of the country. So along the line, we're going to have a food gap, a food security gap, where there will be a period where food will be in short supply. Many international organizations have also identified this, especially for the whole of the continent. They have identified an impending food security issue. And it's going to be very severe because, don't forget, post-harvest systems and storage or processes doesn't exist in our country. So what happens is once the produce comes and we don't use it, it goes to waste. So that has compounded the impact of what we are seeing, because the local market even is restricted at the moment because of the alternating days of the model of the lockdown. So as it is now, what we have wasting away on the farm, and the fact that we have lost a lot of time to even plant, what this translates to is that the next season, which is going to be the dry season, will hit us in the face because there will not be enough food. And I'm telling livestock farmers, which I'm also one, right? The maize we are going to use for the next season, right, for our livestock, I am not confident we have planted it in the quantity in which we should. So government should be very proactive and reactive to the fact that this lockdown has created a big crater of a gap in production in our country. So when we talk of food security, it's going to hit us in the face. We are going to have a period of time where we will have shortage of food. Shortage of food means lack of access to the food and lack of nutrient to our bodies. And that has other follow-on implications. So from our side, even the local market is very erratic at the moment because of the nature and the model of the lockdown.
Around your farm in Wandieville, are farmers going back to the fields right now?
Well, yes, I've seen more activity in the cluster community I'm in with farmers. I've started seeing farmers going back to the farm. However, we're experiencing a lot of problems around access to inputs. The dollar has gone up erratically now, and we are finding out that chemicals, the cost of chemicals and the cost of inputs have become very erratic, and the access to it is limited. Okay, for example, in Ogun State, we have alternate days where we can go out. So those are the only days we can approach our agro merchants to buy chemicals or to buy inputs or take our produce to the markets. So that also in itself is an impediment on food supply or food production normalcy. We are not operating in full capacity. However, there has been a bit more movement among farmers that is going to the farm to actually farm.
With the advice of the FAO, UN, we've been advised in Africa to trade within the continent. So with this disruption in the European market and not being able to sell by cargo, is there a demand locally, like within the continent? Or would you think about exploring that option?
Okay, I'll answer that question in two strands. I'll answer it politically and I'll answer it practically in terms of the sector. Even if our borders are open, Nigeria is still a dumping ground. I can assure you that most of the grains we consume in Nigeria comes from other African countries. So now that our borders are shut, I mean, we need to access the advantage to us as a country, which we are beginning to see. Now, poultry products from abroad can come in, so poultry farmers have an opportunity, but also grains I'm not sure can come in because our borders are being shut. Vice versa. I am not confident that we have easy flow of movement out of the country via our land borders. Okay, so when we talk of a region trade, what I first of all think about is our borders, because it is the cheapest way of haulage, to all our products from from different countries within the region. Now, I'm asking myself, do we sincerely have a true and practical trade agreement or trade process, right, with our fellow West African countries? I am not confident. Apart from some products from Nigeria, like Nestle products or maybe Dangote products that goes out, I know, on trucks, I am not confident that other produce goes out, but I'm very confident a lot of produce coming, like pineapples. Like pineapples, will come in. Plantain may even come in. At times, our yams goes out to other West African countries and exported to other West African countries as in a different brand, but I'm not sure all that can happen, anymore. So for that kind of advice, I am thinking that Nigeria has locked itself in a lacuna because our land borders are short. Now, how many people all via air? I know a particular courier service that hauls produce from West Africa, bring it to our airport, and then load it onto their big aircraft. That may still happen, but that is trade from outside coming inside. For trade from inside going out is it's the proportion is just too minimal. I'm not confident it's anything significant.
But in Nigeria, we actually have one of the largest population on the continent. Do you think we can create that demand locally?
I think in Nigeria, the demand for our staple foods will continue to remain. So the staple foods like cassava, like rice, and our protein will still be there. However, we cannot survive enough alone on that. Don't forget, we also have staple foods that has foreign materials, inputs as well. That is the manufactured foods. But for local agricultural produce, the staple foods will still be farmed on a subsistence level. That would always be there, which is the major basket that feeds us. It will still be there. However, for us to be able to step it up, we need export trade. Export cannot be left out, and we cannot sustain the maximum income or the maximum revenue generation just by internal consumption. We definitely, as a nation, need to build our foreign markets.
So what do you advise the government do? How can they
assist? I advise that the Ministry of Trade and other agencies under them should step up their game. They need to create and ensure that this market works. Let me give you an example. The export process, especially at the seaports in Nigeria today, is still very complicated, long-winded, and unnecessarily difficult. The Ministry of Trade will tell you they don't operate the ports. Nigerian Port Authority will tell you they operate the ports, or they don't own the federal agencies that to do the inspections or to carry out their services. Now, except these three agencies can come together under one process, okay, we will still, and the terminal operators as well, we would still be having this bottleneck at the ports. The amount of limitation, the gridlock at the ports is impacting on exportation cannot be neglected at all or cannot be brushed aside. It is costing us a lot of money. It's in terms of lost revenue. It's costing us a lot of traction in maximizing the export process. These three agencies, the Ministry of Trade and agencies under them, the Nigerian Port Authorities with the agencies under them, and the terminal operators, and also the security services that have, or security organizations that have inputs in this process, should come together and harmonize a process that can be a kind of easy way of forwarding freight, especially agri-produce. In fact, there should be a dedicated terminal operator that deals with agri-produce. It can be an inland one, and the container is moved maybe by waterways to the containers, but there has to be something drastic done. For us to maximize our potential in forwarding our freight, export freight by our ports, right? We need all these agencies to harmonize a process. Let us have a dedicated export terminal. You know, even if it's going to be onshore, and then we use our waterways to haul it to the seaport, then there must be something creative that can come out of it. Apart from that, I wouldn't lie to you, we will still be a Mickey Mouse exporting country. We won't be able to compete in the international arena, and we will just keep doing this year in, year out.
With this pandemic, you still believe there's an opportunity to export out?
In fact, the demand for products, I'm looking at this global pandemic, it's going to position Nigeria and other exporting countries in a very good alignment with the demand. Because as I speak now, demand all over the world for agri-produce is unbelievable. It's unimaginable, because production, especially in Europe, they don't have people to go and pick farms or pick produce in the farms in Europe. So the effect of the pandemic in Europe is very, very severe as well. You have produce rotting away on the farm because there is no workforce that will go and pick those produce. So what would then happen is imported produce will have a chance. And don't forget, we have we have renowned aggregators that come to this country to go to other country to source produce. Let's look at Kenya. Kenyan produce still leaves Kenya, despite the fact of this pandemic. They still leave Kenya. The BA still flies out of Kenya, especially their cargo planes. But we don't have that in Nigeria. Kenya still exports. We still find produce from Kenya on the shelves in Marks and Spencer's in the UK. So why can't Nigeria do the same? Yeah.
It's an opportunity for us to think forward.
It's a big opportunity. It's a very big opportunity. Yes, it's a big opportunity. And don't forget that produce are being monitored are being available in seasons. So by the time we miss this season, we have to wait till next year's season. So it's just something we just need to get our acts together.
To wrap it up, I wanted to ask you, you were able to think forward and mitigate the disruption so you don't have post-harvest loss and you're not stuck with your demand. What advice do you give other people or other farmers in this situation? Is there an opportunity locally?
Yes, I think farmers should stay focused, and we should continue producing, because the local market is strong enough to at least sustain, which it has been over the years. However, mechanized farming should also step up, because we are running by the seasons and by the rains. So even when the rain leaves, we should be able to have private sector investment into mechanized farming, so that we can be able to produce to plug the food gap that is looming over our heads.
Thank you very much.